Hello, welcome to another episode of Constitutionalist Podcast. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard. That's L-E-N-A-R-D. It looks French. It's not. It's Leonard without an O. Thank you for tuning in. As Graham Norton used to say on his show, let's get on with the show! Special segment for February and March midweek drops. Normally Saturday monologues and normally a guest appearance on a Wednesday. February and March, 2 a week, Tuesday and Thursdays, in order to get caught up on some interviews that have been stacking up. Enjoy. Joining me today will be Cody Johnston, not Johnson, Johnston. But before we get to Cody, I want to do a little brief monologue. I make no secret that Constitutionalist Podcast uses a service called PodMatch, which is where we met. You could go to check it out at tinyurl.com, join PodMatch. You don't have to join right there. You could just check it out, tinyurl.com/join PodMatch. And I saw his profile and it said, The Weird Canadian. And that's all I needed to read, as I told him our online communication before 9/11 and cross-border travel for personal reasons got all messed up, obviously. I used to vacation up near Aurelia, R.I.P. native son Gordon Lightfoot. Used to vacation on Sparrow Lake up there all the time. So to discuss all things Canuckostanian land, welcome to the show, Cody Johnston.
Thank you very much for having me. And yes, I am the Weird Canadian. I thankfully coined that. That is my online persona. I have it everywhere. So if you ever want to search me up, the Weird Canadian, you'll find me everywhere.
Okay.
I got very lucky. But yeah, I define myself as that too. So feel free to throw in as many questions as you'd like, and we can get weird with it.
First, let's do the Christian show, so pun intended, proverbial. First obvious question, where were you born and raised? Where are you now? Significant places you've been in between. How much time have you spent in prison for what? For the record, for the transcript, he's laughing. It's a joke, people. It's a joke. Let's lighten up.
And for the record, I think I've only ever been gotten a citation for drinking in public, and that's because I got pushed off a lawn. And that's a whole story. But yeah, I'm Cody Johnston. I was born and raised in Ontario, Canada. I spent the majority of my 30.
What city?
Around Oshawa till I was 16, and then Port Hope, which is what I deem my hometown. Uh-huh. So my parents own 4 acres in the middle of the Ganaraska Forest. We grew up in middle of nowhere. I got to learn to drive. I got to go to school and had a good time out there. Also had no internet for 4 years, so I got lucky. I had that 4 years where social media was starting to get big. I never got on that, so I never really understood social media until lately. Actually, as I started doing my podcast.
That's good. I'm glad that spared you a lot of heartache in a way, right? All that online bullying nonsense.
Yeah, it did end up affecting me in college, but it does what that. I learned about it, I learned from it, and now I'm a better man for it. But so I've moved from Kingston. I went to Kingston for college, computer networking and technical support. Then I went down to Niagara for computer programming, where I ended up getting a co-op job with the Ministry of Transportation, building applications for the general public and learning how our government doesn't fucking work. Sorry for swearing.
Yeah. Oh, ours doesn't either. But I'm sorry to say, yeah, in many respects, yours is somewhat better in some ways and somewhat worse in other ways.
Fun fact for your crowd, 40% of the Canadian population is employed in some way, shape, or form by a government entity.
Non-productive side of mostly. I mean, obviously there's now we have to explain to some, like especially in our southern states, some of those are you have beer, wine, liquor stores. It is so harshly regulated that you have government run, owned, and operated beer, wine, liquor to really be able to ensure crack down, although your drinking age is 18, or did it go to 19?
No, it's still 18.
18,
and
yep.
Fun fact, 2/3 of the price of our alcohol is tax.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, you want less of something, you tax it. It's a punishment, right? The idea is to tamp down demand to a degree. So I complain about taxes all the time, but that sin taxes or tax on cigarettes, things like that, you've got to have some tax to run a society. What are those going to be, right?
My issue is when the tax is 3 times the product. That's
yeah. It is a tad outrageous. But yeah, you've got the government-run stores to really control that. And I say, if we're going to legalize pot here, that perhaps maybe we might want to do that. But yeah, there's that downside. More government employees. And they feel like they're elitist above everyone else. You can't fire them when they stand around doing nothing, which is why there are so many of them. It's like construction. Even here in the U.S., you go by a construction crew, you see 2 people working, 10 standing around.
And I started calling it luxury welfare. You go get paid to be there, but not to actually do any work. And the few people who actually do the work, so this is one of the reasons I left, was because I was one of the people trying to make a difference, trying to do the work, and you're rewarded with more work. And it's just somebody else's work because they don't want to do it.
We could talk for hours just on whining about our governments alone, but let's not do that.
So let's go on to the rest of my path.
Yeah,
so
why weird Canadian? What's the genesis? Christian show, pun intended again, the genesis of this weird label.
So I always felt like a different different from my peers growing up. Like I always felt like I had the rich history of Canada. Like I've always been proud of our history, how we got to become a nation, how we're always we always band together during the hard times. But as a Canadian, I always felt like I didn't fit in. And it was because I spent most of my life on the internet. Like I actually, aside from those 4 years, I had internet since I was 10 years old, and I've been on it since then. So it's literally like I got ripped out of my environment, and I'm more world traveled through the internet. I listen to more music on the other side of the world.
Good side of it. Yeah, there's the good, the bad. I'm former IT, so good, bad, ugly. Same with AI. There's good, there's bad, there's really ugly.
So I got really detached from Canadian, and I was always called the weird kid. I was always called so I'm just at this point, I'm taking it over.
For the record, those looking on behind the scenes can see, but those on the 25 plus audio platforms are reading in the transcript. The kid looks weird. That's a joke, people. Relax. It's a joke, people.
I'm wearing
the shirt says "Beware the Cobra Chicken." Okay,
which is our goose.
Yeah, the Canadian goose on there. Yeah, it says what again? Beware the Cobra Chicken, right? Yeah, the Canadian geese. Yeah. Oh, we hate those. Oh, here in Michigan,
they are
keep them. Would you please keep them? Yes, those. Oh, ornery little SOBs.
Yeah, so we call them Cobra chickens up here because they're just annoying and they just want to attack you all the time. But yeah, it's just like I've just always been this person. And fun fact, now I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so I live on the Rock, little known island called Newfoundland in Canada. A little town called Lewisport, and I'm actually the tourist coordinator now. So I'm actually building up a tourist destination
that's a
here.
Private position, though, or
it's
public?
a public nonprofit.
Okay. So I would call that private. So it's a nonprofit. But we would say 501c, nonprofit organization. Although I would imagine gifts are not tax deductible in Canada for such an endeavor, right?
Yes. So I'm just working building up their tourist infrastructure here, promoting them.
I'd
I'm
love
also
to come visit, but again, getting over the border still is a major pain in the butt. So I don't go over there anymore, unfortunately. And I miss a lot of friends I don't get to see anymore. But anyway, sorry I interrupted.
No worries. I fell in love with the town, the community. Like we have the largest marina in the North Atlantic, biggest hunting and fishing store on the island. It's just, and the people are just so welcoming. I felt at home. And now I just do everything I can to bring people here, showcase it, and on top of doing my podcast, running a 3D printing company, and everything else I do.
You know, I'm sure you probably don't get it there, but you might be able to stream it. It's on Fox television network here in the States, a new series called Best Medicine. Takes place out of Maine in a town called Fort Wayne. I'm kind of picturing your place like that place. Have you heard of the series? Have you seen it?
So I've started watching it, but we're a little bit bigger in population. We're about 3,500 people, but there are plenty of places here that have less than 100 people, and it's just a town full of people working together, supporting each other, just getting by in their daily lives. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Now let's go back to the internet thing. We kind of touched on bullying a little. In my books, especially I'm grabbing the Book of Kennedy, Project Carpe Diem, my whole life and living series of books. Bullying is unfortunate. It's never going to go away, though. And really, it's life conditioning. It helps make us better people. As I say in Book of Kennedy, you don't want to be like that, as I coin them, massholes that are always miserable and angry and whatnot. It helps actually build better character in people. So it's a rite of passage. It's almost a necessity of life. Your thoughts?
No, I've actually started contemplating that recently, especially when it comes to online bullying. Because I had that gap of not using the internet, I think I have a really interesting perspective in terms of nobody can hurt you online. Like, I'm sorry, that's not bullying to me.
Not really.
Like,
yeah.
I've had a swirly. I've been beaten to a pulp. I've been choked on multiple occasions. I've come home and had to change schools because it's been so bad.
Physical and mental bullying, yes, just like abuse. Physical and mental abuse can be as bad as physical, because physical, like a bruise, will heal. The mental scar can remain a long time. I'm not trying to necessarily...
but I'm trying to put it into perspective of like the mental harm you can fix. Right? The physical harm is something.
Yes.
Well, yeah, you can because it's something about yourself. You're finding it harmful. Therefore, it's something about you that you need to figure out.
Now, I want to break into Disney. Let it go. Right?
When it's coming from somebody else, you don't have a choice. Like, it's not up to you.
Except to fight back. Yes.
Exactly. So, and I'm really I'm really starting to understand that distinction, and I'm really starting to get that sense of we've lost that line, that delineation of one's worse than the other, and we really need to make that prominent.
Yeah, I'm glad we. I never script these shows. I never know what rabbit holes will open. We go down so I'm going to refer people back into my Constitutionalist podcast catalog. Please look up the Bullseye the Clown episode. Bullseye named because he was the target of bullying. He became a clown out of that, and indeed goes around talking about bullying. So that episode is very worth listening to. But I don't know what to pivot to next.
No worries. Like, I can go a little bit more into like the bullying side. So like, I was a really different kid. Like, I liked to cosplay. Like, I was anime, 90s anime kid. Like,
oh, okay.
Finding DVDs.
Anime, not Pokemon. The two are different.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was heavily into the actual Japanese animation, like to the point where I'm now over like 1,000 series watched in my lifetime. Like it's all, I've actually calculated it out. It's worth 6 months of actual life that I've spent watching anime.
Well, and you said in your lifetime, so how old are you?
34 years old.
Oh, okay. See,
yeah.
Now you look younger. I've only guessed you in your 20s. So looks can be deceiving, right? That's why Martin Luther King Jr., you have to engage and understand the content of one's character, not how they look, not the group the left loves to put people in boxes over. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so like I was very imaginative, always in my own head, always like trying to play out what I wanted to do. As I got bullied, that kind of became an inward self. And fun fact, like I used to dance. Like I loved to dance as a kid. I was called Crazy Legs, and I didn't realize it was actually somebody like yelling, oh, like a slur to me, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna call myself Crazy Legs because I'm crazy, like, right? And then like it just grew to more self.
So the weird Canadian, aka Crazy Legs.
I also have sugar-free, so sugar-free Cody, because I'm not a fan of sugar. My dad is
in moderation.
Yeah.
See the Health Week's episodes, blah, blah, blah.
But yeah, like I'm a weird individual, and the bullying kind of made me internalize a lot of that. But as I grew, I learned that it was helpful. A lot of that was helpful. It's just a matter of you need to grow up. I don't know how else to put it. You just need to grow up.
Some people never want to, exactly, unfortunately. We need to let, I've got episodes on this and articles at thelibertybeacon.com and beforeitsnews.com. We need to let kids be kids. Yep. Some people are trying to force children to deal with too much adult stuff too early, but then, yes, 18, 21 for sure, 24, when the brain is fully developed, yes, grow the bleep up.
It's just fascinating how you, as you get to that point, when you realize, you look back on your life, it's like, I needed to hit those to become who I am. Like, I wouldn't have started my podcast without being able to understand who I was, what I was trying to do, these kinds of things. Honestly, it's so freeing to not worry about it anymore. Like, I don't know how to relay this to the kids out there, to the young people who think everything is going to blow up and the world is crappy. I can promise you it's not. And once you understand that and start seeing it as like bad thoughts in your head, just throw them away. You're going to feel a lot better.
Bad things sometimes happen to good people, but you're right. Likely Armageddon coming tomorrow is slim. Terror strikes coming soon to a city near you. I don't sell fear porn. I want people at least awake and alert and have a modicum of situational awareness and understand bad things sometimes happen to good people. So don't be an ostrich. Don't have your head buried in the sand or up your hind side. Pay attention. Now, you mentioned creative. Have you written any books?
No, I am starting because.
Well, then let me recommend to you how to write a book and get it published.
Fair enough. I am starting to write a book. I did kind of write a 5,000 page piece on my life, on how I got to where I'm at.
Although
but I kind
no
of
one knows who Cody Johnston really is, so you don't want a memoir, but you can have a dramatic book based upon your life. That would work, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm working with AIs to really flush that out right now. But in terms of creative, like, I am very good on camera. I found I am charismatic talking to people and really good.
No, you don't say. I thought you were pretty darn boring, actually. It's a joke,
But-
people. Wake up.
Fun fact, I really don't like people. Like, it's like I get
my
charismatic.
sister has a shirt that says "People, not a fan." She's got a bumper sticker I love. The more people I meet, the more I love my cat. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
I hear you. Absolutely.
I'm taking from like the George Carlin era, where it was like people are stupid, but the individual, like, I'm really excited about the individual. So when I bring somebody on my podcast, it's like, I just want to know who you are, why you are, what you're doing, how is it different, what are you going to do with this? I just want to understand from your perspective what's going on to the bigger world, because I'm just naturally curious. I want to know as much as I can. And it's funny because I always put this in Doctor Who terms, but I want to be the face of Bo. Like, I just want to be somebody there that watches human history throughout the lifetime of it, not really interfering, but just being able to see it progress and learn and understand and just be there. That's my reason for being, which is really weird.
So you're also the nerd.
Yes.
I'm kidding. I love Doctor Who. I go back to the original series, so I don't watch it these days. I found it's like just gone off the rails, but I like the older Doctor Who. But at any rate.
Yeah, so it's just like a matter of like perspective. And I have like a lot of big theories on the world. I have a lot of things to tell, and I like to just kind of put the conversation between the two people into perspective for others. And that's where my creative comes in. And then also on top of that, like, I use AI to edit my videos. I'm also an AI musician.
I just was on Suno.com the other day for my I'm grabbing again for the Book of Kennedy Project Carpe Diem. I had it create a theme song, Kennedy's theme, and I just put that up on YouTube and BitChute the other day. Exactly.
Yep.
AI music creation has gotten a lot better than where it was. And the Kennedy's theme song, I've got a rock version, a pop version, a country version, and an unplugged version, and all the same lyrics, but wow, is it great. So,
and I have 6 albums on Spotify.
Oh, wow.
I have so much music that I can't afford to keep on putting it on Spotify is the problem. And yeah, so like, I've just been creating, I really get involved with it. So it's not just the AI creating it, it's me creating it with the AI. It has to exactly feel what I'm thinking.
I understand exactly what you're saying. Like Suno, unfortunately, there's only it's almost like a tweet, 250 characters. So you have to carefully craft what you're telling it to get. But the song it created, the lyrics, the verses, the chorus, the bridge are all, it's like it read my book. It is so perfect. It is amazing. But it's like Grok. I use Grok Imagine 1.0 on occasion. And sometimes you get out great stuff. Sometimes it's a dud. It hits the recycle bin. So I get it.
I take it more as this is the start of the new way of things, because when we had the internet, like, I remember this so clearly, when the internet first came out, the crap that was being posted was pic flicks and like little doodles on your computer and like crap. So I understand
there wasn't very much bandwidth then, though, either. But
well,
yeah,
that's true. But it was like the good stuff was getting up and coming, and the bad stuff was getting sorted out, just as humans do. And that's just the phase we're going through with AI right now. Sometimes you're going to get crap, and sometimes you're going to have a masterpiece. And 9 times out of 10, you're getting that masterpiece.
I agree more times than not. And I like how you said you're curious. You like to. I too am that way. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people who love to wallow in ignorance. They don't care that they don't know. They don't know. They don't want to know. They prefer a delusional bubble, and that's sad. Because I coin, as a former IT guy, never before in the course of human history have had people had information, factual, at their fingertips, but at the same time, conversely, the ability to live in a delusional bubble. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but it matters if your opinion's based on reality or unicorn fart fantasy, right?
It's the quote I go back to when or a Reddit quote from like 2012 about what would you tell a time traveler about this period that would astound their mind, and it was, I have a device in my pocket capable of accessing the entirety of human knowledge, and I use it to look at cats. And it's just, that's what it defined down to is we have the ability for all of life knowledge, and now so with AI even more.
The cat playing the piano immediately comes. I love that video.
But yeah, like this is where we're at, and I love the cats dancing. Like I keep on getting the cats dancing now with the AI cat dancers. Oh, I'm sorry.
There's a great spoof of Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, something Paws and Roses, and Sweet Paw of Mine or something. Oh, what a great little video spoof. But yeah, and everything in moderation. It's okay to have distractions and deflections, but it's important to understand Roman bread and circus. You can't be consumed by that all the time. People want you distracted and consuming that idiocy all the time and not paying attention to our politicians who are robbing us blind and selling us up the river. Back to that again.
Yeah, just to get back into that, that's what sold me. So I was actually sitting in my office in the government. GPT popped out for the first time in October of 23. And I was sitting in my office and I'm like, I'm in the wrong fucking job. Just right there. It dropped. I was like, I don't need Stack Overflow anymore. I am in the wrong job. I am going to be irrelevant in 10 years. What do I want to do? That was the snapping point. I was just like, okay. And now, having the tech background, I have the pre-knowledge of understanding what that moment actually meant to me. And it was understanding that I am not a good enough coder to outcompete the best in this field. But yet now here comes a device that can do it better than the best coder in my field.
Yeah. Former IT guy. I was mainly operations administration, but yeah, I dabbled. For a while, I go back to MS-DOS. I used to write DOS utilities, for God's sake.
I had to learn COBOL.
Yeah, HTML websites, the original websites, my super simple computer enterprises
now
business website hand coded by HTML. Yes.
to the audience out there, that knowledge is still highly valuable. I still suggest learning it because as far as I'm concerned, coding is how the world functions. If you understand coding logic, you understand the entire world.
But you're right. What A boss comes in, write me a program that gives me from this data, I want these things in these fields. AI could do that in 5 minutes or less. You don't have 5 days to do it. Yeah.
Yes. So that's where this came into be, was me just trying to figure out what I wanted to do now. So during that transition, I got to work for FIS Global, Fidelity's parent company, working in banking software. So it was really cool because I got to see private industry is just as bad as public industry.
It can be, yes. Yeah.
Great knowledge there. And then, I stepped away to start my channel, which is a culmination of me giving like entrepreneurs and small and medium-sized businesses the tools, the information, the people to build what we need. I think giving people hope and experience and understanding of these tools will help fix the problems that we're all experiencing, because we don't have enough people to solve those problems or solving those problems. Like, it's always been caveated to the rich who have the money to invest in those problems. Well, now intelligence fixing those problems comes at no cost. Like, you can figure out a solution to that problem and run it at $1,000 cost now instead of the 100,000s.
There's part of the problem right there, though, human nature, and why I wrote the Life and Living series of books. Human condition, human nature, psychology. There will always be some who will work harder at not working than it would take to do the job, right? That's why the Bible makes the distinction between those who are unable to work and those who are unwilling, and why Jesus said the poor will always be among you. There will always be some who will try to skate and do the least effort possible, and always conners and scammers and who don't want politicians, wink, wink, nod, right? They don't want a problem solved. They make their living bilking the public on not solving, using an issue as a problem, but never really solving it.
It's one of the reasons I will never endorse UBI. Because our universal basic income, because that is just not something that's remotely feasible with that type of people. It is feasible.
That's denial of human nature. Communism fails. I talk all the time. Biblical community, free will, voluntary. You want to be your brothers and sisters' keeper, but bearing in mind, I have no Christian obligation to unwilling, but the unable, versus communism, forced at the barrel of a gun, and the laziness in the society. That's why it fails. It fails to recognize human nature.
And so another fun fact about me, my family has been going to Cuba since the 98. My parents run a nonprofit in Cuba right now, has been running it since COVID, just to get supplies, food, medicine,
I hope they're
whatever.
ready to hunker down. Cuba might not be standing, or the government might not be standing much longer.
We're hoping the government gets taken out, because that's the problem with Cuba. But for right now, we're supporting them in
beautiful old cars, though.
If
you like
running.
57
they're running on next to
Chevys,
nothing.
that's the place to be,
But just the people are beautiful. The government's just ruined them. And that communism has showcased really hard in that. So I know that system. I refuse to ever enlighten that as a system. And Canada goes that way, I will be leaving. As much as I love Canada,
you're further down the path of it than we are. As Reagan said, if we lose it here, there's nowhere left to go. We must keep it here. And there are so many on the left eager to repeat them. We tried communism in the United States before we were a nation. The Bradford Colony, the Mayflower Compact was a Commonwealth, communist before the term was coined, compact. No one owned anything. It was all communal. And indeed, Ayn Rand, Atlas Shrugged.
Yeah.
More people kept wanting to get in the cart and be pulled than were able to pull it. They almost all starved to death. Bradford then instituted personal rights, freedom, individual rights, and personal responsibility and private property ownership. And the rest, as they say, is history.
The problem I see right now is we've stopped teaching that. We've stopped teaching that what our history is about.
On purpose.
On purpose, but we've also increased showing what China's like. Not what China's like, not what it actually is like, but what it's like. Yeah,
the propaganda version of what
we
China
are showcasing
like.
that they have unbelievable robots and the cleanest streets and the nicest people. And then under the belly of that, you understand the 300 years of Maoism.
Suffering, yes.
The suffering of the Uyghurs. Canadians. We've had Canadians arrested on diplomatic charges, put into prisons there and put at gunshot. We have like spy satellites all over the world for Chinese spies. And it's just like, these are the things you don't get showcased. And if you literally actually go look, you find it. It's not even hard to find. You look at one alternative source and you'll find everything about them.
Yeah. The Western left is in bed with the CCCP. And unfortunately, I don't just call out Democrats here. I call out rhinos here. Saint Mitt Rhino-me, as I call him, right? In bed and profiting off of shipping our manufacturing over to China, which I get a degree of globalism. When Nixon opened China, it made sense. But when Clinton and Romney and their ilk invited them into World Trade and most favored nation, no, wrong thing to do.
And now we sit at a point where China has a lot of influence, like a lot of influence. And the US has been losing it all the time because their propaganda is just death, 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 death. Like all the propaganda for the US is, we want to take over everything. All the propaganda from China is, we want a polite society. We want love. We just want to get along.
They make it sound biblical, but it is not. Yes.
And it's like, okay, we're at this point where AI is now going to determine who wins. We're either going to have capitalism or we're going to have communism. That is the choice we are going to make. As a world, not as a country or anything. As a world, we are now at a pivotal point where that is the choice. And all our governments right now are understanding the pride of domestic manufacturing, the understanding of domestic
national security aspects alone. You cannot rely on your enemy for parts for your military. That's just stupid.
And on top of that, it's becoming easier to do these things. Like, I run a 3D printing company. I can manufacture parts as needed. It's becoming much easier to run domestic facilities at home too. So why aren't we doing it? And this is why I get so pissed off at Canada, and why I yell at Canadians all the time, is because Canada is actively moving more to China and less building domestic manufacturing. And we're like, America's did the exact same thing. Why are we expecting something different?
How do you not learn that's the hubris and the stupidity of communist thinking. They did it wrong. We're so much superior in intelligence and ability. Our elite know better and will do it the right way. Again, the continuing failure of socialism and communism, failing to learn when others screw things up and learn the lesson from it. Yeah.
So and I'm really excited because Canadians are starting to wake up. Like, we are starting to see things. We're on the cusp of another election coming up. We're not sure when. We're probably going to have it in the fall. And we need to make sure that Donald Trump doesn't say fucking anything about Canada. Nothing. He cannot say a word about Canada from now on, because if he does, we are going full on communist.
Right. That's that risk. If we try to meddle too much, hoping to prop up conservatism and anti-communism, it will backfire. I agree with what you're saying, in that
now,
he needs to shut up and do things quietly behind the scenes. What do you think of circus clown Carney? Better than Trudeau, but
no, worse
in a lot of ways. Yes,
we are double the deficit since he came in. Double, like a year. We've doubled the deficit in a year.
Yes.
He is never at home. He spent 72 days last year in Canada, and most of that's are weekends, so he's not working.
That's all over why I say he's perfectly named Carney, as in circus clown. Yes,
he's all around the world securing deals for our mineral rights, but we have no infrastructure to dig those up, no infrastructure to actually send them out, nothing to actually get us to the minerals to even see how much. And as you
said, a lot of time cozying up to Xi in China.
And then, so my theory is he's getting contracts from foreign companies. Foreign companies are going to come in, they're going to own those mines, own those resources, and Canada's going to get none of it. He's selling off our debt to fund selling off our resources. Is what essentially it boils down to, and I'm really getting sick of Canadians not understanding that. But the nice part is,
pressure from us could backfire and just drive it, because you can't fix stupid people. Just will not wake up. The more you try to educate them, it goes back to delusional bubble.
Yep. The one thing we have going for us right now is Carney said at the start of his promise was, judge me on on the food prices, not what I say or do, or not something, right?
Yeah.
And our food prices are the highest in the G7.
Shall be known by your fruits. And in this case, literally the price of the fruit. Unintended.
And that's literally all we have to go on. If he was to run right now, he would fail because we're judging.
Good.
But the problem is we have.
But again, I need to shut up and stay out of it. I agree with you. I need to also maybe quietly behind the scenes, but I shouldn't even have said what I've said on this show.
It's just the reality. And I like to talk about this as much as possible because it is just the reality. And the utter stupid part that is just baffling to me. The only thing, the only thing that's stopping us from being a productive country is our laws against drilling for oil.
Oh, the same with Obama and Biden here, right? Yeah, and Trump.
We just had to ship it in from Australia.
Yeah, we can. The conflict going on now and issues with the Straits of Hormuz, Europe is going to hurt. Maybe UK and France will now finally get their butts off the sideline and send their navy in to make sure the straits stay open, because we under Trump have gotten a lot more energy independent. And that's for national security reasons. Why you want to be, why you must be.
So even if you don't take the national protection stance, even if you take it at an environmental stance, we don't have the environmental tech to be renewable. We need the oil to build the infrastructure to build the renewable.
It takes oil for the windmills. Yeah,
it takes oil for the vehicles to build the roads. It takes oil to build the houses. It takes oil to run a nation right now, and that's the unfortunate fact.
Yeah, right. It's an oil economy still, no matter how much the climate charge and how climate responsible is it when you could drill in your own backyard with our Western standards of, wanting to be Christian good stewards of the environment, do it responsibly, distill it at home. How is it more environmental to ship it all across the world? That's not environmentalism. That's climate idiocy. That's climate cultism. That's non-thinking.
I would suggest anybody look up Desiree Fixler. She's a WEF whistleblower, and she talks how all of the money got funneled for
Climate
changing.
scam.
Yep.
Money laundering. It's been a money laundering scheme ever since Al Gore's An Inconvenient Lie movie.
If it had have been invested, we'd be at that green future right this second. That's the simple fact.
But they've been too busy lining their pockets with most of
Yep.
it. Exactly. Okay, well, wow, has the time flown. I did not expect we'd have these many rabbit holes we dive down. So I want to, we could go for hours, but
Probably.
you know, as a podcaster, the longer it gets, the fewer the views.
Yep.
Today's Twitter attention span, I call it, right? Just give me the headline. Just give me the TikTok video short version. Well, sorry, people. Details matter, and you need to learn that. So anyway, do you have a website?
Yes, I do. It's called theweirdcanadian.ca.
Yep, I'm writing it down so I can make sure to put it on the scroll.ca, as most sites in Canada and in .ca, just like in Europe, a lot of them have their own dot extensions. It's in the US, we have a bazillion different ones now. We don't have just .us for government, .com, like I have terrorstrikes.info for one of my books. You can
even get .party now.
Oh, now that makes sense. All the political parties should have their own extension, and instead of trying to, because that's another thing, all the NGOs here, non-governmental organizations, they're not nonpartisan, private, public nonprofits. They're money laundering operations. You're not, well, unfortunately, they are fooling, as I call, the independents who refuse to pick a side. At any rate, we've way blown over in time, so I don't know exactly when this will air. Of course, I will reach out via PodMatch and let you know when it does. Take care. God bless, brother.
See ya.
Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help.
Thank you for having tuned into another Constitutionalist Podcast show. I really appreciate that you stopped by. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We need you to help spread the Constitutionalist movement. Thank you again. Take care. God bless. Love you all.